Hello and welcome. My name is Megan Lucky, and this is A Lucky Life. Come along with me as I try and get to know myself better and hopefully help you get to know yourself better too. Hey guys, I am filming this a little bit late this week, so I'm sorry for that. I'm also sorry that I'm a little bit low energy today, and I'm gonna try to regulate my nervous system during this podcast so that I can be a little bit happier moving through the rest of my day and hopefully give you tools to regulate your nervous system, because that is something that I want to talk more about in general and post more about in general. Yeah, I'm just like, I don't know, kind of tired, kind of sad, just some things going on that are making me a little bit sad, but that's okay because that's part of life. As I said in my yoga class this week, you know how surfers, and I also posted this on TikTok, you know how surfers are really known for being like super chill, like their stereotype is this chill person, almost too chill to the point where you're like, they must be delusional. Well, it's literally because they're regulated to the ocean and this cycle of waves. So they know that like some days there's good surf and some days there's bad surf, but they know that eventually good surf will be back and the waves will be back. Just like life has its ups and downs, and you ride the lows because you know that the highs will be back. So I'm riding a little bit of a low today. I taught a hot yoga class this morning, which was honestly probably my best yet. It felt amazing. But I haven't showered yet, and I drove a couple hours to get here to Philly, and so I'm just move, go. I worked a couple golf tournaments this week, which was super fun, really pretty courses, but I was getting up at like 4 a.m. and like not getting home until late. I did have time though last night to watch the Golden Bachelor. I don't know if you guys have been watching that, but I'm literally obsessed with it. I am obsessed. I don't even want to watch the regular Bachelor anymore. This one is so much better. I'm also really like invested in Gary. Like I'm obsessed with him, and I hope that and like I saw a funny other creator post about this on TikTok about how he's like, I am not watching that show again until they replace Gary with someone that I don't care about, because I care so much about this man. I've cried both episodes throughout the whole thing, basically. I don't know why, like it's just bringing me to cry. I know a little bit why. But my mom said something that I found so interesting because I'm watching it with her. She was like, you know, even though they're so much older, like there's something so pure and innocent and vulnerable about them. But she's like, but they're older and wiser. And I was like, isn't it funny though? Because I was like, I think actually it takes that wisdom to get back to that childlike vulnerability and innocence that they now have in their 70s. And also, sorry, if you don't know what the Golden Bachelor is, if you're familiar with the Bachelor franchise, it's basically like that, but for older people, so like people in their 70s, and they're getting a second chance at love, whether they've been divorced, whether they lost their spouse. They're now like getting this hope. And this woman, Jeannie, she left last night and she like didn't get to move on, so she lost her chance at love, at least on the show. And she was like, you know, I'm sad, I am like hurt that Gary didn't, you know, want me, but I also have like a newfound sense of hope. Like there are good men out there still, and if all these amazing women can do it, so can I. Like I'm gonna get back out there and find that second love. And I thought that was so beautiful. And I do think it takes wisdom to be vulnerable, and I think there's a lot of maturity in that as well. So I just thought that was interesting, and I wanted to share that. But now let me pull a card, because I definitely could use that to kind of guide me and give me a little regulation. So it's going to be an oracle card again, just one message from the universe. See what I need to hear today. Oh, there it is. Bravery. Ooh, okay, I like that one. You're being asked to make a tough decision that you've been putting off because of fear, which is understandable. But you do have the strength and bravery to make this decision, and you will feel so much lighter when you do. Bravery. That's always important. And I am going to talk a lot about the book and like what I said we would talk about last week, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. But it actually talks about courage and bravery and how a lot of it comes from having the strength to live your own path. And I know I've talked about that a lot, and I would love to read the exact line that I'm thinking of, but it's going to take too long to try and find that. So it takes strength and it takes bravery to sometimes go against the grain and make hard decisions like the card is suggesting, but I don't even know, like I have to really tap into my intuition and think about what decision this is talking about, because I have a lot of decisions that I've been putting off, basically. I will say though, maybe it's just like picking career, maybe it's other things too. There's a lot of other things that it could be, so I'll meditate on it later. But yeah, I think career feels relevant to me right now. I did, and this is an update, I did start applying to jobs this week. And I think, and I've talked about this with you guys before, I've had a mindset of extremes when it comes to going back to the corporate world. And I have tried not to view it like either I move out and go back to corporate and am able to pay my bills and therefore I'm selling my soul, or I have to keep making $0, like basically, and pursuing these creative dreams and pursuits. And I realize like it doesn't have to be that black and white. I think a lot of us sometimes get stuck in the black and white and stuck in the extremes of our limiting beliefs. So I realize, and look, I don't want to go back to a soul-sucking corporate job. And now because I've had this year, I know myself so much better and what I need and what I want so much better than I ever have. So I trust myself not to fall back into that pattern and that loop of being miserable in a corporate job. So I know that I'm not going to do that. But that doesn't mean that something out there won't give me that there's no such thing as a corporate job that can give me fulfillment, or that there's no such thing as a non-soul-sucking corporate job that I can still pursue these creative dreams outside of. So, and also, I just because I don't go back to corporate doesn't mean I'll never make any money. I'd love to be my own boss one day, but I do think I need a little bit of time paying my bills another way before I can rush into that, if that makes any sense. Like I feel like I put a lot of pressure on myself to just have it all figured out and be able to be my own boss right away, and I can't do that. I need a little push, I need a little motivation. Even when I'm working like golf events or teaching yoga, like I feel more motivated, and it's almost like a crutch to me to motivate my own creative things in my own life in a way, if that makes any sense. I think I'm losing myself here. But yeah, like I feel like being pushed sometimes by having responsibility outside of yourself pushes you to take responsibility within yourself. So I'm still doing like all these amazing self-care, self-growth things, which again, like if I didn't do those things, I wouldn't have the direction and motivation and understanding of myself that I do going into this next chapter. I just don't know what the next chapter is going to bring. I also applied to some very different jobs, and I'm okay taking like a pay cut to be happy and to be in a job that doesn't take all of my life force energy, or at least gives me some fulfillment in a way. So, look, I'm not saying that my past jobs were completely miserable. I really am not. But I personally made decisions that took away a lot of that personal autonomy and fulfillment. So I don't want to do that again. Okay, now let's move on, because I finally finished this book this morning. So no new book of the week this week. And this one honestly does deserve 2 weeks worth of episodes, because there's just so much packed. I probably will bring it up again in future episodes, but it's so good. And I also haven't had time to read another book this week. I'm trying, guys, all right? I have been listening on audiobook to Our Time Is Now, so that's been good. It's very like, it's more political, and it's about like voter registration and just that scene, and it's very informative, but it's definitely something that you have to be interested in to really get into it. It has to be a topic that you're passionate about or interested in being passionate about, which I am and I'm not, so it's a little bit like not as much my vibe, but I'm gonna finish it. So anyways, okay, let me read the affirmations. I know I told you guys last week that I hope you can hear me, I have been writing affirmations for the last few months, ones that have resonated with me. And then I went back and looked through all those affirmations and picked out the ones and like reworded the ones that I felt like, okay, these are the most consistent, and I think these will be the best for me to continue using. So I'm gonna read all 10 of those. And then I also made a list of 10 affirmations that I've been inspired by other people, and I feel like they really resonated with me, and those are ones that I also want to start using more of. So let me start with the ones that I am using and came up with. The first one is, I am calm and thoughtful in the face of adversity because I regulate my nervous system after I get stressed or triggered. Because we know, okay, and that's the final, but because we know that when something bad and stressful happens, we move on from it, we try and fix it, but we don't fix it within our body. So our body still feels that stress and it stays in that survival mode. So sometimes we need these affirmations and the things that whatever our nervous system regulation tools are, we need to use those whenever we have those moments. And yeah, okay, moving on. Okay, I trust that all my experiences, negative and positive, are the universe's way of guiding me to my highest path and potential, so I view them all as opportunities to learn and grow from. I love that one, if I do say so myself, because I think that is the most powerful. Because when bad things happen, we love to blame the world and think the world is against us. And this I literally just read this line in the book, which is ironic. It says, like, the universe or the world doesn't always give us what we want, but it gives us what we need. So sometimes bad things have to happen to push us to better things, to push us to have some great realization, to push us to change direction in whatever way. And if we really viewed bad things happening to us as a way to look inward and see how you can recalculate and be a better version of yourself and be more aligned with your highest timeline and highest path, then everything starts to click and make a lot more sense, and you start to become a better version of yourself, because the only person you can change is you. So stop blaming the world, because it's not going to do anything. It's not going to serve you. Serve yourself. Start looking for things that allow you to improve. And that's another thing I want to write about. I want to write about how, isn't it so interesting that when anybody suggests any kind of change in our behavior, we get upset, we get so angry, instead of just listening and thinking, okay, why are they suggesting this? How can I, and maybe it's something that you don't want to change about yourself, and that's okay. At least you won't get defensive, you won't get angry about that. But if there's something that is triggering you and making you upset about that suggestion, that's something you can look into. And that's a tool that you can use to make yourself a better version of yourself in whatever way that you interpret how you feel about the suggestion of change. But it shouldn't piss us off that someone's giving us a suggestion on how to be better versions of ourselves. It shouldn't. So anyways, moving on. Number 3, the things I want in life also want me, because by staying true to my authentic self, I am an energetic and frequency match to them. I also love that one. And I'm trying to be better at tuning into that frequency match of the things that I want, but I'm also, it's a journey to be authentic. I also saw this, I think it was on Instagram or TikTok, just saying how the most powerful frequency that a human can have is authenticity. That's the most powerful that you can be. So being my authentic self, little by little, breaking down all those walls, those insecurities, and being that authentic version of me, that will align me with my highest self and the things that are the most important to me and my biggest desires, it will align me with. So next, I block out the noise from people not in the same arena as me, and because I know myself and my path better than anyone. That's a big one, right? We don't want to let other people who have no idea what you're going through, and they're not even close to experiencing what you're experiencing, undermine or take us away from the pursuit that is meant for us. Like, I see this all the time. I see Instagrams or whatever of people saying, like, a famous TikToker is not going to make fun of you for making your first TikTok. A famous YouTuber, a successful YouTuber, isn't going to make fun of you for making your first YouTube video. And a famous author, isn't going to make fun of your first book, even if it sucks, even if your first draft sucks. You have to go through, like, my podcast has gone through eras already, and I still am like, okay, it's not great yet, but I'm getting there. And I couldn't have a great podcast ever if I never had the courage to start. Bravery, you know? So, moving on. I catch myself in negative thinking spirals and replace them with more positive ones. So same thing that we talked about 2 weeks ago, I believe, from the Cinderella book, and thought swapping. So swapping out negative thoughts with more positive ones so that we don't get in these traps of the same cyclical thinking that holds us back. Okay, next. I serve the universe and the universe serves me. That's a belief that I have and that I want to keep affirming to myself, because I want to serve the world. I want to serve the universe. I want to be the best version of myself, because in doing that, I serve the universe. And in return, the universe will serve me, because that is harmony. Okay. I attract abundance and security by utilizing my unique gifts and skills and staying on my specific path. Again, that's kind of like in the same vein of the things that I've been saying, and aligning on that frequency by being true to myself and really going for it, and knowing and taking account of when I'm not being true to myself, so that I can get back on track, because that is the energy that will attract all the things that I really want to be, like truly, truly want to be in life. So, next two, I enjoy the journey and the day-to-day pursuit of my goals and dreams, because it's not about the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow that you discover is empty. And that's an analogy from my book again, but it's about the journey and enjoying the little moments and the day-to-day, instead of waiting for this elusive chase of being happy one day when you get this, when you get X, Y, Z. Enjoy the little things, because they will end up being the big things. And in the book, it talks about this fable of this little boy who's given a ball with a little string in it, and the string in the ball, if he pulls it, makes time go by faster. And so he uses it, and he makes time go by faster when he's doing things he doesn't want to do, like being at school, and he's a monotonous day. And when he gets to the end of his life, and it all went by so fast, and he missed all these amazing little moments because he wanted to skip them to get to the big moments. And then he gets the chance to go back in time and relive and enjoy those little moments with a newfound understanding of how important your time here is on this planet, and just how important those little moments are. But, and the book talks about this, we don't get to go back in time. We don't get that same gift. That's just a story. So we need to learn from that story, and we also need to learn in our own ways that those little moments are not worth skipping. Even the ones that suck, they're teaching you something. So it's important to appreciate all those little moments. And finally, oh wait, no, two more. Okay, two more. I am always looking to grow and improve myself. Facts, I definitely am, and I always want to, and I want to affirm that. And then the last one, I radiate peace and positivity inwardly and outwardly. Pretty self-explanatory. I want that to be my energy, and I don't want to let these bad things, when I'm dysregulated, carry into other parts of my life so that I miss little moments because I'm in that angry phase, okay? So I'm not gonna let it hold me for too long. I'm gonna move and bounce back quick. Okay, now I'm gonna read you my inspired affirmations. And I'm already realizing I don't have time. I can't believe I did this. I thought this was gonna be a super quick episode. I'm gonna read these affirmations and then wrap up. And then next week, I'll do the segment of my biggest weaknesses and how I'm gonna work on those. I know, very vulnerable, but we're gonna do it. So next week. It's good. I like having things to look forward to and more content that I'm excited to share with you guys to talk about. So that's fine. We'll save it for next week, but now on to the inspired affirmations. And I'm already feeling better. Like I don't know if you guys can tell, but like my energy is raising just reading these affirmations. So this is a great way for me to bring my nervous system back to a regulated state so that I can carry on throughout my day a little better. So I hope maybe one or two of these affirmations resonates with you, and then you can use them and repeat them to yourself in the morning, during the day, in the night, when you're having a negative thought, bringing that affirmation up. Anyways, okay, here are the inspired ones. I am fulfilling my soul's contract. That's a little bit of a spiritual one. So if you're spiritual, I think this is a great one. But even if not, like, look at it like you are a part of this planet for a reason, and you are here to live your life, and you are doing that in the best way that you know how. And so there's comfort in that. And I want to be the best version of myself. So I'm going to work on being that version of myself because I owe that to me and I owe that to the universe. Okay. I am living a meaningful and abundant life. Affirmations. I need that one. Okay. I just got to cringe. Cringe looking at myself. Okay. I am efficient with my energy and I always have enough time. This one is an affirmation / manifestation. Because again, we live in a scarcity mindset sometimes of like not having enough time, not having enough money. And there's definitely, I'm skipping to this one. I always have more money than I need. And getting out of that scarcity mindset where it's like never enough, like being comfortable in the energy of like, I have enough time, I have enough money, like, and not letting that be an excuse. And again, like, look, if you can't afford something, you can't afford something. Same with time. If you can't afford, just prioritize where you're spending those resources. And therefore you will always have enough. And especially when you're living in your authentic, true self. Sometimes you have to make sacrifices for things that aren't quite aligned with your authentic, true self. And I'm saying this right now out loud and thinking, oh yeah, I've been doing some activities recently that aren't necessarily aligned with my highest self. So I could cut those out. Whether it's money that I'm spending on them or time that I'm spending on them, I'm wasting resources when I'm not doing that. But I'm not being hard on myself. I'm not looking back and being like, damn, I'm stupid. I'm just readjusting and learning from this. So next, every day I'm becoming the happiest, hottest, healthiest, and richest version of myself. I saw that one on TikTok. Fucking love it. And I think you guys should use that one too. Look in the mirror every morning and say that. Every day I'm becoming the happiest, hottest, healthiest, and richest version of myself. And I will say, most of those things are true. I'm not going backwards, okay? I'm not going backwards. We're going forwards. We didn't peak in high school. Okay? We still haven't hit our peaks yet, you guys. The universe is always working in my favor. Again, even the bad things that happen, they're meant to show you what you need, to show you what redirection you need, what opportunity, okay? The love that I give to others is reflected back to me. That's a belief I have and I want to affirm. I attract opportunities that align with my goals. Just true. The best things happen to me. That's like the lucky girl syndrome, which I will do an episode all about that one day. So I love that. The best things happen to me. I'm always the girl that I get lots of like little bad luck. And so all my friends are like, oh my God, that always happens to you. And I don't want to be that girl that always gets the bad luck. And it's funny if it's just like little things here and there, but like the best things happen to me. Like the best things happen to me. I mean, it's true. I believe it. Sort of. Okay, I am now living in my highest timeline. Every day I'm met with blessings and abundance. You know, that manifestation technique of really feeling and believing that you're there before you are there, and feeling those feelings so that you unlock those dormant subconscious drives and motivations within you that will help you get there and help seek that out for you. So that's going in line with that. And then the last two, I am not my past. I am creating my own future. Love that one. Think that one is so important for so many people, okay? And then finally, and a great one, I appreciate everything I have. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. I know that I've talked about that enough, so I don't need to explain to you why that's important. But okay, that's it. I'm running out of time again, but I love you guys. And next time, I'm really excited to talk about all my weaknesses. Yeah. Okay, thank you guys. Love you.
Hello and welcome. My name is Megan Lucky, and this is A Lucky Life. Come along with me as I try and get to know myself better and hopefully help you get to know yourself better too.